was going through this period of time where I was really like lonely and frustrated and like feeling kind of stuck, I realized that one of the things I was missing is that I didn't really have people who had been there and done that. And so for me, that's where the gap in the fence was. I needed to turn around and just chill and hang out with people who were experienced. So just like you get confidence from helping somebody, serving somebody, I think there's also like a comfort about watching somebody who's already been there handle so much more than you probably can, and seeing like, oh, they handle it, like, and learning how they do that. So the other part of community that I'm thinking of is reaching out to somebody who you maybe don't really have anything to give but your time, and giving them that time and listening to them and understanding where they came from and how they got there. And sometimes you just pick up so much stuff when you hang around people who have worked hard at something and accomplished a lot of things. And it's funny because oftentimes they will not tell you, but if you ask, there are people who will tell you all of the amazing things they've done. They'll tell you how they raised like 5 kids, or how they started their business from scratch, or, just, there's some really awesome people out there. And so if you maybe are feeling a little lonely, sometimes it's because we have our friends, we have our support on our sides, we have the people that we're serving. But for me, I was missing the people who have been there and done that, and making the time to sit with them and listen to them and just hear them. So that is the fence of community. That's probably a terrible name, so if someone has a way better name, tell me about it. But yeah, so that's just a way to think about community. And as always, I don't want to just say like, oh, hey, go out and make friends. That's not easy. So I'm not saying that this is an easy thing to do. I'm just saying it's a worthwhile thing to do. So let's talk about practical ways to build community. Especially as an adult, it can be hard to find friends and build community. Maybe you moved, maybe you, like me, just had a child, and so you're in a different season than you were. Maybe you just started a new job, so it feels like you're starting over. I think there's a quote, and I don't know if I'm remembering it right, but there's a quote that says, if you want to be a friend, be friendly. And so you just might have to start practicing being the friend that you would like to have. So for me, that meant that with all of the messiness of my life, I invite people over. I don't have it all together. And I used to use that as a reason to not connect with people. But we don't all have it all together. Invite people in your life. Get involved. There are so many ways to get involved. Like I said, serving is a great way to make friends. So if you're like, I'm not really into randomly putting myself out there, it's uncomfortable, find a way to serve people in your community. You'd be surprised the amount of people you meet just going out and just finding a way to help other people. That's a great way to meet people and make friends. I think that another thing you can do is be the asker. I know nobody likes to be the asker. Like, I don't want to be the one to ask to hang out or to get coffee or to talk on the phone. Like, that's so awkward. But just, if you can do it, go ahead and ask. Most people are pleasantly surprised when you ask to hang out with them. So if you can, like, go ahead, ask somebody, say like, hey, could we talk on the phone? And like, as an adult, it might be super awkward. And I keep saying as an adult because even though I'm 25, I still feel like 20 in my head. But as an adult, you might have to actually schedule time with people. You might have to meet at weird times. You might have to go do the thing that someone else loves. When it comes to like, connecting with people who are older than you, you might have to go and do their thing. And you may not completely love it, but you can just take the time and get into their world a little bit. And I promise, like, that's a great way to make friends. So I was listening to a podcast with Crystal Hurst. It's called the Sister Circle Podcast. And it's really just encouraging content. And she did a whole episode on how you can encourage sisterhood. And that one of the things she talked about was just how you find good friends. And one of the things she said is that good friends, they can get together, after months, and it's like nothing happened. They have the freedom to live their lives, but they can still come together and just encourage each other and discuss things. And that is so true. So I think sometimes we have to accept that friendship, relationship, community is not always going to look how it did before. And sometimes we're missing out on the community we have now because we're constantly comparing what we have to what we had in the past. So you might have to just accept the situation you're in life right now. Maybe you're really busy, or maybe you're single, but you might have to accept that, and you might have to just start looking around and saying, okay, I don't have as many friends as I used to, but I have one friend. Can I make time for them? And we need community. We need each other. It's the only way we grow. And so that's what I'm going to leave you with. This is not the neatest, checklist of what to do to find friends, but I think it's a starting place if you can at least just reach out and be friendly. If you can invite someone for coffee, if you can just FaceTime. FaceTime's a bit bold. I'm going to take that back. Maybe if you can just